Yes, sir. We are back. It is the Brevity Boys, your
Woo!
Brevity Dads. We are back.
In person, together.
If you're not on the YouTube, we are in the same room. We are in the same exact room.
Rarely
We are.
happens.
Rarely happens. We live not that for those of you who don't know, we live in California,
SoCal.
SoCal, which is not that far from each other.
Yeah.
But with our traffic, it
Yeah.
it is that far from each other.
It was like
Yeah.
so we're about what, 30 miles roughly? So it took me about an hour and a half to get over here today. Which, I mean, in all grand scheme of things, is not terrible, but when you're dad, you got work,
Yeah.
but it's worth it. We try to get together every couple months.
We're nice and full. We just had some sushi. Got our bellies out here.
We had, how many rolls did we? We had a good 9-10 rolls.
We had a lot of rolls.
Yeah, we did.
It was delicious.
We did.
It was delicious. No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
Feel good. Feel
I
great.
feel great.
You had a
I feel great. I feel like I had so much food.
You have a great spot out here. It's really good.
It's really good. It's all you can eat. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's like, the highest quality, but it's got good filling ability.
If you're going to an all-you-can-eat sushi place, you're not looking for high quality.
You're not.
You're looking for medium to
decent
quality.
Yes.
But like good enough to I'm just going to keep eating, fill my belly. I'm not going to be grossed out. That's all you're looking for.
That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So
100%.
It's okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, Big Z, what's new, man? I haven't seen you. We haven't been together since we talked to James, the Yankee fan.
Yes.
And he was confident. We should have invited him. Dang it.
We should have.
He was so confident the Yankees were going to win the World Series. And then...
Was that the last time we were together?
That was the last time we were together.
October.
Was before the Dodgers won the World Series.
Crushed the World Series.
Crushed.
You hear that, James? Crushed.
But don't worry. You guys had the pitching staff, according to you.
And you don't have Garrett Cole anymore because he's on Tommy John surgery.
He's actually really sad. I did text him about that the other day.
I mean, they just re-signed him for a 9-year deal or something, or something silly and a lot of money. And
do you think they go get Trevor Bauer?
They should.
He said he'd play for free.
I don't know if that's legal, based off the CBA, but at least the minimum. I see the point he's trying to make. I do.
He's supposed to be in the league. He's supposed to be in the league. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't hold it against him for wanting to be in the league. He's been balling in Mexico. He's been balling in Korea.
Yeah, he's been doing well. He's been doing the thing.
Kind of makes you wonder who hates him in the MLB.
C-League. Not C-League. Manfred.
I was like, wow, we are going back. Manfred. But here's the problem with Manfred. I was talking about, Jason brought this up today. We were driving. I was talking to him on the phone, and I was like, he's like, why won't Bauer get another shot? And I said, the problem that you're running into now is that Manfred is the most popular he's ever been.
Right.
Amongst the owners, everybody's filling seats. Right. MLB just broke all of their attendance records.
All that money's coming in. You don't want to mess with that if you're Manfred. Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. All these owners that maybe a few years ago after the Astros debacle, right, would have been willing to go against him. Now they're kind of he doesn't like Bauer. I shouldn't like Bauer either.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's kind of how it works, man, in pro sports. You kind of fall, if they're lining the pockets with money, it's what are you going to do?
What are you going to do, Big Z, before we get into all that?
Yes.
Let's get an update. How are you doing? How's Oliver doing? How's spring ball going?
It's awesome. It is awesome. Like I said last time, we've been practicing in the backyard with those little rubber golf balls. And this time, he's been hitting 4 or 5 in a row.
Nice.
I'm soft tossing, and he's doing the thing. I got his feet correct. I got the elbow correct, and he's doing it. And then I pitch him about 20 balls, and then he goes on and
you're supposed to clap. I didn't hear it clap.
Oh my gosh!
I tried to clap for your son.
Yeah. Well, there. Let's try it again. I don't know why I didn't do that.
It did. Okay, we're trying to clap. We're trying to up our game, and I read the word clap on the screen, and it was supposed to clap for all of it.
You know what? There we go.
There we go. Did they just hear that? We're not editing it. Keep it
anyway.
Keep it in, Big.
So he's been hitting, and then I throw him I pitch him 20 balls, and then I introduce the normal size ball.
Yeah.
And he's just I don't
this is a beach ball.
And he's like, oh my gosh, and boom, line drive. Not ground balls, line drives. Straight up the middle or oppo. And I'm like, how are you hitting oppo already? You're 3 years old. So we're doing that all the while. Haley is getting more and more pregnant, which means she's getting more and more uncomfortable, which I feel really, really bad for her because
Is she full send waddle? Tell the people.
Oh yeah, she's full send waddle. She's getting tired at the end of the day. It's like she thinks she's in labor because like the Braxton Hicks stuff is happening. And so like we're ready. So we have all the go bags ready for the hospital. Oliver's is ready to go to the in-laws.
Everything's locked in.
Dude, we're locked in. We're ready.
Dude, real quick, funny story. Jaden was born.
Yeah.
I asked Danielle before we went to the hospital. I was like, is there any chance that Jaden comes today? And she's like, no chance. I was like, okay, no chance. So we go and we take my car, which was at the time a little 2-door R6. I don't even remember these.
Yeah.
Little 2-door, little rice rocket. It was sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, I loved that car. One of my favorite cars of all time. And so we go, and the doctor looks at us like about 20 minutes, and he's like, we got to do this. And I was like, whoa. This is the one time that I don't have the car. The car with the stuff is in the other car.
Yeah.
And Danielle, she lied. And
she told me he's not coming.
I was the worst father ever.
How far was she at that point?
She was due. She was due. So we should have known.
Okay.
She was like maybe a week short, maybe a week shy of whatever it was.
So Haley's at 38 weeks tomorrow. And so we have an appointment next week, like a growth scan. So I'm fully expecting it's like they're going to be like, you got to go to the hospital, like across the street.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
I don't think they even let you go like past a week past now.
Yeah, no. So Oliver was a week past.
That's
Yeah. And he was big, 10 pounds. So like they're not going to let that happen again.
Oliver did some damage.
Yes. And so he's a big boy, smart boy, big brain, big head. So we're ready. We are fully ready. Actually, I don't know if I'm fully there mentally yet. Like I'm like, not that I'm not excited. I'm just like I'm going to have like revert back to dad mode when it's like baby dad mode, you know, I'm scared again. Like I'm going to drop her. Nah, but she'll be okay. You know, babies are strong.
Dude, I have always had an unnatural fear. I only hold my own kids when they're first born. That is a rule that I have. I do not hold anyone else's newborn children.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because I am not going to be the person that dropped them and now they can't learn math. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't want them to get to elementary
school.
Dude, I'd be terrified.
Yeah.
I'm going to be terrified.
I trust you with her life.
I'll, like, put my pinky out and she can just grab my little pinky.
That's cute. That's cute.
It'll be a good moment.
Yeah, it will be.
But, you know, the whole grab, I don't know. It's tough.
Yeah, man.
It's tough.
I feel you. It is always kind of nerve-wracking when you're doing it. But other than that, man, we're good. We have a game this week. It may get rained out, but we'll see. But how you been? I know I had a busy week. Cool game though this week.
I did have a cool game this weekend. We had a great weekend in general.
Yeah.
Good practice. We had a birthday party. Good friends. Just like, you know, you're hanging out with like a good group of people and all of a sudden it's like midnight. You're like, oh, I never stay up this late. Why am I up?
Yeah.
But like, it was just a good time. We're just hanging out. And then Saturday we did have a game. It was crazy. We were down two of our best players for sure.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, like in majors, you actually like draft, right? So like you actually like pick kids. So these guys were like my top two. Like these guys they are so amazing. Incredible kids, Benji and Julian. Both kids just have the best attitudes. Both kids, I love coaching both those kids. I've coached them for years. Julian was at a tournament in Arizona, just killing it. Just doing great. He had a great tournament. I was watching his team. It's really cool. There's like an app you can do.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Is it the same one you gave us when they were
Stars? That one. Yeah. So you can like watch live scores on Game Changer. So you can watch live scores on Game Changer, and you like see what's going on.
Yeah.
And so like I was able to keep track. But that night we did have a game down him, and there's 3 kids total missing. And so it was like, all right, boys, like, hey, we're just gonna go have fun. Like, let's just go compete, see what happens. We're gonna be all right. We ended up winning the game 7-5. So one of the kids I put into pitch, he's typically not my pitcher, and he killed it. Corbin, he just killed it.
Awesome.
He did great. He gave up like 5 runs, but it was like all I'm asking him to do is to throw strikes.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I don't care how many runs you give up. Like, we're gonna have to score. We're gonna have to find ways to score. Just throw strikes. And he did it. He got us all the way to the third. Jaden comes in, bases loaded, 1 ounce, and he just shuts it down. Didn't give up anything over the last 2 innings.
Wow.
He looked great. Yeah, it was good. Especially after his opening game. I remember last podcast talked about some of his struggles, and it didn't go his way. And so it was really good to turn the page from that, see him like really, really reset and just kind of lock back in. So it was fun, man. It was just a good time. Try to be encouraging.
Yeah.
Chewing seeds, just hanging out.
That's awesome, dude.
It was good. It was good. It was good, man. It was really good. And Sunday we had another busy day.
Yeah.
It was nonstop. What was his name? What was the guy he played?
Mob Boss?
The Mob Boss. Was it Al Pacino?
Maybe.
Am I crazy? There was a Mob Boss.
Well, we got the Google here.
We got the Google. But there was a Mob Boss who was literally caught by the IRS. Like no one else could get him.
The Godfather?
See, that's the actor. Al Pacino is the actor.
Donnie Brasco?
No. Wait, have you not seen the Donnie Brasco movie with
The Godfather?
No. This is different. Donnie Brasco is undercover. He's an undercover police officer played by the guy who played Captain Jack Sparrow.
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp. Just shows his versatility. Killing the game. Anyway, there's a mob boss. There's a famous mob boss who was caught by the IRS, and they couldn't get him for like racketeering or murder or anything. They got him for the IRS tax evasion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the IRS comes
money,
for
man.
everybody.
Well,
The IRS comes for everybody.
They'll get you for the money. If
They
you're taking money
absolutely
from them,
do.
they'll get you.
Yes.
Yeah,
So do your taxes, people.
Please.
Don't lie.
your
taxes. Do them
Yes.
honestly, just like we do. We promise. So
Right.
don't come looking at us.
Very honest.
No reason to ever look at us. We are honest.
I owed. I paid the feds.
I owed so much money.
Yeah, so they already took the money. It's funny. They'll take the money right away, but it takes if you get a refund, if you get blessed,
It takes so long.
it takes so long to get the refund.
So long to get a refund.
Why do I have to give you money right away? But when you owe me money, it takes like
It
months.
doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well,
It is
whatever. It is what it is.
absolutely-
That's just how the game is. You know, that's how they coded it into the Matrix, and that's how it is.
Oh man, Haley's about to have a baby.
My goal is to still be pumping out these podcasts.
You're just not going to sleep, but I think you will be pumping out probably material because you're going to be up at 2 a.m. for no reason with nothing to do.
It's true, editing videos. Underneath my covers, like,
Yeah, just like, yeah.
who would you rather choose, Albert Pujols or
By the way, did you get a consensus on the Michael Jordan Kobe thing?
MJ?
Yeah, it had to.
It was like there was no
It was
LeBron,
MJ LeBron.
MJ or LeBron, because it just went off in the group chat,
Mhm.
and it was just MJ consensus. No, not even one LeBron.
Jason Stroman may be the only LeBron that I've met in person in terms of, because my greatest, and I told him this, I said, look, oftentimes GOATs have very little to do with who the actual GOAT is. Especially like most people are going to pick their guy. Right? There's still Niner fans that'll swear Montana's the guy.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do to sway him. Right? Patriots fans sit there, Tom Brady. I agree for the NFL, it's probably Tom Brady, just watching.
100%.
But like in basketball, like for me, my GOAT is Kobe.
Mine
And
too.
there's people out there that would argue like Kobe's not even top 5. Right? Like it's
ludicrous.
But it's one of those things. There's going to be nobody moving, right? Like Mitch would say Michael because Mitchie loves the Bulls, right? A lot of people would say Michael if you have anything to do with that era. I would say Kobe, then Michael, but like Kobe's my guy. But I think for me, period, it's like Michael and Kobe, just like they are in their own thing for whatever reason, and I just can't. I know LeBron has all the stats, and that's what I did tell Jason. We talked on the phone. I was like, in your defense, I think anybody who looked at the stats and the numbers would be really hard pressed to say that LeBron doesn't belong. Because he's like the scoring, the passing.
He belongs in the conversation.
Right. All the stats are there.
Yeah, but stats only get you so far, man. It's like work ethic, love for the game.
Were you an assassin?
LeBron ain't no assassin.
He's not an assassin.
Yeah, LeBron
He was tried to assassinate Stephen A. Smith, courtside.
did. That was so...
Well, it was weird, and then after was weird
like,
because I've never.
Why in the middle of the third quarter at a timeout? Like, why not before the game, while during warmups, or why not after the game? Why during a timeout when your coach is trying to coach your team and draw up a play?
I didn't like
decide
the
to go over
to
Stephen A. Smith and confront him.
I don't like the timing. First, let me just say this: I didn't like the timing.
Puff your chest out.
Yeah, I didn't like the timing.
That's my son.
I'll give you a couple reasons why I don't like that. A, it's during the game. During the game, I want you to be focused on the game.
Yes.
You shouldn't be worried about who's there. There's one guy who's allowed to, and it's Reggie Miller. And Reggie Miller would use Spud Webb to fire himself up and then score.
For the game.
Right, for the
team.
So that makes sense.
Yes.
LeBron was it seems like he went after him. And Stephen A. Smith after was it was kind of weird because a couple days ago, he's like, look, that wasn't LeBron, the basketball player.
Right.
That was LeBron, the dad, coming up to me, talking to me, And as a father, I could see that, right? Yeah. I've had parents get upset with me for why is my son in right field? It's I totally get it. Some people go Papa Bear on you or Mama Bear on you, and it is a difficult time when you are coaching, people's children. There's always going to be disagreements. There's going to be highs and lows. I totally understand on that facet. He's defending his boy. Having said that, when you're in your Laker jersey, to me, during a game, if you're just in your Laker jersey walking around, cool. But during a game, you are being paid to be LeBron James, the basketball player. After the game, you could do whatever you want. You could tell the reporters whatever they want, as long as it's not insanity. Whatever you want to do, whatever, as long as obviously within reason, right? But afterwards, give your opinions, give your thoughts, give whatever you want to talk about.
This is the thing with LeBron. He's on the Lakers, right? You're supposed to represent the Laker brand. This is why I've always had an issue with LeBron, because it's always about him. And he tries to make it that he is larger than the Lakers. And to me, no one is larger than the Lakers. It's the Lakers, then you. Yeah. But LeBron doesn't care. LeBron makes it about himself, no matter where it is. But when you're on that court, you're supposed to represent that brand because they're paying you all that money. So that's my issue with it. Stephen A. has since kind of taken a step back, and he's kind of gone after LeBron in the last few days. So
I saw that.
Yeah, should check it out. It's it's a good listen, I would say.
What does he say? I haven't heard it.
Just that it was weak. It wasn't about his son. It was about more about him. Very selfish type of thing. And he kind of just no, it wasn't about him being the dad. It was just about him and his image that he was mad that I was,
and that's the thing. I want to be clear. As a father, yes. I understand wholeheartedly defending your son, regardless of where, when, how. I love my boys. I love my boys with all my heart.
Of course, yeah.
Whatever happens, I'm going to defend them to the nail. On the flip side of that, you have put your son. We talked about this before. Right. You put your son in the spotlight. You made it so that he was going to be drafted this year. You came out and said last year he would be starting for the Lakers last year. That's what you said. You put him in this position. All of a sudden he's getting paid. He's not in the G League. Not only is he not in the G League, he's got a contract with the Lakers in a position where you wouldn't historically receive a contract. Now, I understand. A lot of people come out and said, look, with the second round, a lot of those guys don't pan out anyway, which I'll be honest, I have not paid attention to the NBA draft in a really long time. I want to be clear. I'm just a dad talking here. But at the same time, you've put your son into the spotlight. Whenever you are playing professional sports, everyone is going to talk about you. And when you're not playing that great.
And that's all Steve A. Smith was saying. And he wasn't even insulting Bronny. He was insulting LeBron for putting him in that spotlight, putting him in that position. Because it's not fair to Bronny. It's not.
Right.
And then today he went on his podcast and he was like, there were so many other players that could have gone instead of Bronny, that should have gone because they earned it. Bronny.
So it's partially.
He's not lying. LeBron just doesn't like that he's telling the truth. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
At the end of the day, I totally get LeBron defending his son. Having said that, you also put your son in I'll give you a great example of this. There's majors and there's AAA, right? Grayson right now, and I hope, if you're watching this and you're on my team, I love you guys. I drafted you. I would never pick anyone over you. Having said that, Grayson, if I drafted him, he would probably be fine on the back half of my team.
Yeah.
Having said that, would he ride the bench more? Yes.
Yeah.
He would probably ride the bench the most on my team, right? Would he pitch? No.
Right.
He would not pitch, right? Would he play second base guaranteed? No. He would not play second base guaranteed. There's a few kids that really, unless somebody's missing, they're really not going to see some of the positions that they could have if they were in AAA. Right. So I made the decision as a father. I was like, look, I want him to develop. That's what I want. I want the development to be there. So I didn't even let him try out for majors. Would he have made it? Probably. I made the decision that he wasn't even going to try out for majors.
Yeah.
that he was going to play AAA,
Yeah.
where he was going to pitch and play second base and third base, wherever else they need him, and he's going to be a big part of the team, and he's having an absolute blast. So that being my mindset, I understand that's much higher stakes. Whatever LeBron is doing is much higher stakes. I'm not trying to compare simplicity of Little League to the NBA. What I am saying is, on some level, the principle is there.
Yeah.
You have put your son into a position of higher scrutiny because not only did he make the league, he got a contract that I don't know if any other second rounder got. I could be wrong because, again, I don't know. But
I don't think so. But
I don't think so. But you put yourself you put your son under this microscope, under this unneeded scrutiny, or maybe he stays in college another year and develops. Maybe if he just keeps growing, because obviously he's been playing ball his whole life. He's got a great mentor in his dad.
Right.
LeBron is known for being a great father.
Yeah.
There's all these things that you can keep working on, keep him out of the spotlight for as long as you can until he's ready. Give him every opportunity. Man. So I do see I guess I see both sides of it, but really I also think if I was going to give the edge a little bit, what did hit home with me, I'm not gonna lie, because I felt like Stephen A's initial response was very genuine, and I thought, like, he didn't get upset. He's like, look, that was this guy, this is the father, like, I totally understood, like, this isn't about him as a basketball player. He was like, having said that, like, dude, he knows how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, exactly. Call me man to man.
Like, you didn't need to do this. At that point, like, I'm just a fan. Yeah. He was sitting courtside. Right. Like, he was not spectating, he was not commentating. Yeah, like, if LeBron went at a random fan, it'd probably be an issue.
Yes.
Right? Yes. And yet here he is going to Stephen A, he's not clocked in, right? Because everybody understands these guys on TV, they're persona. Right. Right. Stephen A gets paid millions.
He's a Knicks fan. It was a Knicks Lakers game. He's a Knicks fan.
He's a Knicks fan. Yeah. And so you go after him courtside. It's sort of like I totally get where Stephen A's coming from on that one. Yeah. I don't always agree with Stephen A, by the way. Go back and watch our podcast. Right. We've been very critical of ESPN. So we're not like ESPN. That's not our thing.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No, not at all. No. Stinking Bronny. I did watch the end of the game, and it was actually quite sad because everybody was cheering for him. Every time he had the ball, he just kept missing. I was like, dude, just please make a shot. He just kept like shooting, and everybody's like, yeah, like all the Laker fans were like, he's gonna make it. Please. Yeah. They didn't. And then finally the other one, Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
Dalton Connect like grabbed, like he missed like 2 in a row, and Dalton Connect finally got it. He's like, I'm not passing. And just like drained a 3. He just like looked over and like and just drained a 3. Yes. We're not doing this. Yeah, we're not doing this for the next 3 minutes. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing it. In other news, let's jump into it.
Let's do it, man.
That was not planned.
No, it wasn't. That was good.
No, nothing was
off the cuff.
Off the cuff. Debo is on the move.
It's okay.
Big Z is in shambles. Big Z. We tried to find a car crash sound before this podcast. We failed. There wasn't like a concise enough car crash.
Yeah, it was very long.
It was a very long,
like the screeching. Like
it was almost too morbid, right? Like it was almost like it led into the car crash.
Yeah, and I was like,
like at that point,
this is a bad. Like this is like there's death here.
Yeah, he was like trying to stop the car.
Yeah,
it's like, are they lit? Like all of a sudden, I was building an attachment.
Like it's the end. It's the end for this.
I was building an attachment to a fictitious soundbite. Like I was like, did they have a family? Like I want to know all the things. Like, what if they have a dog? Is anybody to feed the dog? Like the dog is dying at home, and the car is crashing. Like it was too much. So we don't get into that mindset. Debo, along with all of the other Niners, are gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. 3/4 of your fans probably need New Jersey,
including my son.
Who did your son have a jersey of? Oh no!
So I told him.
Poor Oliver.
I told Oliver that Debo's gone. He doesn't understand it yet.
Yes.
But I told him that I'll have to go get him like a Kittle jersey or a Brock jersey or something like that.
Go safe. Get him like a Kittle. The Kittle's never leaving.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I understand what the Niners are doing. I understand it. Like they had a lot of bad contracts. Like Debo was owed like $31 million like this year and next year. Yeah. Wasn't producing. Do what the Bills did last year. Shred that money. Next year they have like $90 million in cap space. Ooh. They're gonna go get guys. The one that killed me was Drake Greenlaw.
That one made no sense to me. Like, I told you that earlier at dinner. That one made no sense.
$11 million a year, not bad. Like Fred Warner, yes, is like the heart and soul of the defense, but Drake Greenlaw is like, I don't know what's another analogy of size, heart, and soul. The arms, the legs, the head, the brain, the feet, everything that made like Drake Greenlaw was the brains. No, Warner's the brains. And
he's the big toe.
Greenlaw.
Have you tried to walk without a big toe?
Yeah, right.
It's impossible.
Exactly.
Can't do it.
And the fact that they didn't re-sign him for the amount of money that he signed with the Broncos, it was just like, ugh, that one hurt me because he's so good. Like if he doesn't rupture his Achilles in the Super Bowl, they win that game.
Yeah, we talked about it before.
Yeah, Mahomes gonna do anything against that defense
No.
with him in there. And then they put Winters in there, and he's just like, boop, boop, boop.
It was honestly looking. If you go back and watch that game, it was looking a lot like the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Yes.
It looked a lot like the Eagles and the Chiefs at the start, and then Greenlaw went down.
Yep.
It would have been akin to what's his name, the cornerback who got the multiple interceptions for the Eagles. It would have been akin to him going down.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Dijon, whatever your name.
But other than that, it is what it's like. Offensively, I think the Niners are like they're good. They got Brock, they got Brandon Ayuk, they got Kittle still, they got CMC. Like they'll be fine. Offensively, they got to figure it out. Like they have no defensive lineman besides Bosa.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
If Brock Purdy wins 10 games with his team, will we stop hearing about the hate?
I doubt it. Because all you heard, well, he has Cole Shanahan.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
greatest mind ever.
All of a sudden, Ayuk will be like, Ayuk's elite again. Ayuk's elite.
Brock didn't make Ayuk great. Ayuk is the guy.
It's hard. How are you feeling? How are you feeling personally though? Like, okay, everybody is talking about the moves and the stuff, but like give the take that everybody wants. But how are you feeling as a fan?
We're going to be okay, guys. We're going to win 11 games, more than 10, like this guy said. This Rams fan said, we're going to win 11 games, and Brock's going to win the MVP. You heard it here first. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll take it like a champion. But he's going to win the MVP. And they're going to win 11 to 13 games. 11 to 13, I get a wiggle room there. And they're going to be fine.
Let me just say we're here for you. The first step.
They're going to draft well.
The first step of depression is denial.
They're going to draft well. They have 11 draft picks. And it's a really deep defensive lineman and offensive lineman class. And that's what they need. Both those guys.
You heard it here first. Niners, 11 games after losing their whole team.
I'll miss you, Dre.
Denial is an ugly emotion. It's all right. We're moving on. Devontae Adams, and speaking of Rams fan, Devontae Adams.
Such a good move.
I cannot be more excited for this.
You guys are so good. With a healthy Stafford, Puka, Devontae, Kyron in the backfield, Higbee. Who's stopping this team besides the Niners? Besides the Niners, who's stopping this team?
I mean, I feel great about it. I think when you look at the Rams and you looked at Cooper Kupp and what was happening last year, it's very apparent that on some level Cooper Kupp was like missing a step last year. Yeah, like it could have been injury. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say I think whoever gets Cooper Kupp is getting a fantastic receiver because I love Cooper Kupp. Like I'm never going to sit here and say he's done. Yeah. Having said that, like whatever team gets him is going to be great. Should we have paid him like $30 million or whatever he's owed? No. So I know a lot of Rams fans, if you're listening, like you got to trust the process, and that's what I said in the last couple podcasts. Even though we may not understand what's happening, Les Snead, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So you got to give him a chance. You got to give him a chance.
I mean, if any Rams fan is actually complaining about that, about getting Devontae, like substituting Devontae for Kupp, like, sorry, but they don't know.
Does Devontae have a ring? Enter in the Google. Here we go. Does Devontae Adams have a ring? Because if he doesn't, this makes it lock it up. Lock it up as a Rams fans. No.
He doesn't.
Boom. Devontae Adams, you heard it here first. And you probably already knew that when we said that. Somebody on YouTube was like, you're dumb. He doesn't have a ring. So this is huge. He came here to get a ring, and he is on a team that can get a ring. The Rams are ready.
They're ready.
Cooper Kupp, listen, go in free agency.
Go to the Niners. Go to the Niners.
Free agency and then re-sign. Less money.
No. Let Brocky Purdy throw it to you.
You don't want that.
10, 11, 12 touchdowns.
18. Why not? We'll see what happens.
Set the record. Why not?
Set the record. You know who could really use Cooper Kupp? And I really, really, I don't understand why they haven't like even talked to him or called him. Like, if you're the Cowboys, how have you not called Cooper Kupp? We have been waiting for the Cowboys to make any kind of move. I think they two obscure moves.
Javonte Williams.
I like Javonte more than most. Even I was like, okay. And I like Javonte. I like Javonte Williams. Right. When they signed him, I was like, all right.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's better than I don't even know who their running back
is. So they have Rico Dowdle,
right? Who
is a gadget guy,
right?
So they went and got Javonte Williams.
You can plug and play with both those guys. That's actually not a terrible. It's not. But
Javonte Williams isn't a big, powerful back.
But you switching You switch them. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's not.
I like Javonte.
Great. It's not good. But it's not terrible.
I like Javonte.
It's an average move, a C+ move, I'd say.
But you have Cooper Kupp, like CeeDee Lamb. That was the most obvious thing last season.
Well, they re-signed Turpin?
But Cooper Kupp is better than any other receiver you have.
This is the point.
How are they not in on Devontae Adams?
The Cowboys are just cowboying it up, and they have so much cap space.
And also, you can make an argument that Devontae Adams is a better fit with the Rams because Puka Nacua and him are different guys, whereas Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb, as far as routes run, not saying ability, because I think CeeDee Lamb is just notch above at this point in their careers, but like in terms of like the routes that they run, I think that's a harder fit.
Right.
But I think Cooper Kupp is the perfect fit.
Yeah.
Because now you have your gadget guy.
Yeah.
You're good. He runs routes great, mid routes, whatever. And then you have your CeeDee Lamb guy who can go make the home run hit.
Right.
Go make the big
100%.
play.
Ask Jason. I don't know what they're doing.
Jason, wherever you're at.
Dude. I mean, he's been making fun of me and not me, the Niners in the chat. And I'm like, well, yeah.
You know what it is? Like what you just did a couple minutes ago with like the whole 11-0 Brock's like denial thing. He's been there. He has existed there with Dak Prescott. He is convinced that Dak Prescott is everything he needs to do to win a Super Bowl ring. And it's like, dude, we've watched this movie over and over. And how many times do you need to watch the same movie before you accept it is what it like? If they didn't do it with what was it? They had Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard and CeeDee Lamb and a much younger Brandon Cooks. Amari Cooper, Ferguson. Like, if you didn't do it with all these guys at various points in their career, like,
no, man,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not. Personally, I'm taking Brock over Dak any day. He's done it. He's done it with less, in my opinion. Jason, I'm talking to you directly. You have told me for years that Debo is nothing, but every time you talk about Brock, you say that he has all these weapons. What, Ayuk is hurt at the time. Debo's hurt apparently all the time. Kittle's hurt, 6 games of the year. And CMC is not always available either. Brock is doing things. Brock does what a lot of other quarterbacks cannot do. He's very efficient.
He has a better record in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He has more Super Bowl appearances, more NFC Championship appearances, because Dak has 0. And he's beat Dak in the playoffs as well. So
he beat Dak.
Yeah.
And who are the weapons, I wonder? Like, if we look at that matchup, who are their weapons, right? Because like the Cowboys had at that point, how many years ago was that? Was it 2 years ago?
Yes. So CD,
Zeke. Was that still Pollard?
Yep.
Because if you got Zeke and Pollard, then I mean the weapons are there.
Right.
With 3 major weapons, because I mean at any given time, you look at the Niners, you could consider 3 major weapons. I'm not as high on Ayuk as everybody else. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
That's just where I stand. But if you want to consider and find Ayuk, Kittle, and McCaffrey, those are your 3 big weapons, right? So they both have 3 big weapons. 3 big weapons versus 3 big weapons. I could be wrong,
right?
But I'd have to talk. I'm sure whenever Jason listens to this, he'll for sure let me know why I was wrong, and that'll be a super fun conversation. But at some point, you have to be able to see that this guy's not getting it done in the playoffs.
Right.
He's just not. I love Clayton Kershaw with all my heart. Is it difficult for me to make the argument for him for the greatest of all time? Yes, because of the playoffs. Yeah. I don't like that. I don't want to admit that. Sure. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. You are not defined by what you do. You can have all the regular season accolades.
Right.
If you fold in the playoffs, when the big game is on the line, that's what matters. And last year, I'm going to take us back to last year where I will say that Brock Purdy, to me, probably went at least into the echelon of playoff Dak, if not past him. But playoff Dak. I'm not talking regular season Dak. I'm talking playoffs. Where Brock Purdy went into the echelon of probably above, if not even with Dak, when he led the comeback against that Lions team in the second half. He did nothing for the first half. In the second half, he put the back on his team. It's like 70 yards rushing or something like this, a couple hundred yards passing, a few touchdowns, just put the team on his back. The Lions didn't know what to do. And this was a Lions team. This was the first year that everybody's like, oh my God, how is anyone going to stop this team? They're on a roll. They have all the pieces. They got da-da-da-da, and Brock did it.
Yeah. He
balled out when push came to shove. He found a way to get the W. I've yet to see Dak do that in the playoffs. I've yet to see Dak do that in the playoffs. When push comes to, I've seen Matthew Stafford do it.
Oh,
Matt Stafford against the Bucks. Matt Stafford against the Bengals. Matt Stafford is the only reason the Rams have been this relevant.
Yep.
And always in the playoffs, last year included. We were supposed to be like a sub 500 team.
Right.
And we lost to the Eagles, the Super Bowl champions.
One drive away.
One drive away, one play away, which had more to do with the cold than anything else.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
I mean, and that's not an excuse. The Eagles fans, great win. You guys had the best team last year. It's not an excuse. I'm just saying, if you want me to put you in this, oh, he's untouchable. Oh, he's so much better than. I mean, there's a conversation right now going on Twitter. And again, this is like purely like just dad takes. And this is what we do. This is not based on numbers, but there's so many people like talking about Jalen Hurts elite. Jalen Hurts is way better than Dak.
Yes. Oh,
I don't like regular. I don't care about regular season. Jalen Hurts is two of the best QB performances in the Super Bowl of all time.
Ever. Yeah.
One was a win, one was a loss, but that dude balled out when playoffs came around.
Right.
Absolutely balled out. Last year, he did not. I'm
right.
Cool. I admit it. He had one bad run. Dak's had multiple, but 2 Super Bowl performances, greatest performances of all time.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
If I judge people based on the playoffs, so if you're gonna at me, don't come at me with regular stats. I know that the Dallas Cowboys for multiple years, Dak Prescott have had one of the highest performing offenses in the whole league, and the numbers and the QBR, and he looks this fantastic. I don't care about any of that. Playoffs. Give me the playoffs. That's what made Tom Brady the GOAT. So it makes Tom Brady the GOAT.
You know what the Cowboys are scared of? Debo is now in that division, and they get him play him twice a year now.
That's the other thing that I don't understand about this. I'm not even trying to rip on the Cowboys, but like, dude, like if you're a Cowboy fan, what are you hoping for?
Right. Like you're the third best team in that
division. Third best team easily.
Yeah. Like the Giants, no. Fine. Like you're better than the Giants.
100%.
Awesome. Good job. You're better than the Giants. It's like you got the Eagles on the up and up, and then the Commanders, you have Jaden Daniels, one of the best, probably already top 5 quarterbacks in the league, and he just had added to his offense, to his weapons, his arsenals.
Yeah. Debo doesn't hurt him.
No.
That's for darn sure. You look at the wide receivers behind. Let's be honest, guys. Besides Scary Terry, you listen to this podcast. Did you know anybody?
Right.
Did you know anybody? Come on. I didn't until the playoffs. I was like, oh, who's this? Look at this.
Yeah. And
then we did the one guy who got drafted in front of Amon-Ra St. Brown. We gave him his love.
Yes.
I already forgot his name. Sorry, De'Ami Brown.
Yes.
What? Yeah. Way to remember. We are respectful. Look at us. Yeah. Look at us being super respectful. Except against the Cowboys. Oh boy. Except against the Cowboys.
Poor Cowboys fans.
Jason, we love you. We're going to move on. It's going to be okay, Cowboys fans. I'll tell you who it's going to be okay for. We talked about it a little bit earlier. We didn't mean to. Yeah. But the Lakers and the Celtics. The Lakers and the Celtics are good for basketball. This is akin to me to like the Dodgers and the Yankees. Right. You want your big market teams to be good to pull in numbers, and that's exactly what happened the other night. Luka comes to the Lakers. All of a sudden, the Lakers Celtics apparently was viewed. I haven't looked into the numbers of this. I'm just saying from what I saw. I don't know how accurate this is, but somewhere around 4.1 million viewers.
I saw that. I think that's like the highest rated regular season game in a long time.
A long time.
For the NBA.
Well, but let's be honest. Like, this is the other thing I was talking to Jason about. Like, I know it feels like a time we're like pooping on the NBA, but at the end of the day, like, we remember the powerhouse that was the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, for years, the MLB, it was the NFL, the NBA, and the MLB down here. Like, it was like clear cut 1 and 2. And then the MLB, and then hockey. Like, it was like boom, 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 right? And then all of a sudden, the MLB everybody started playing each other. So they started growing. The World Baseball Classic had a ton to do with that.
Right.
Hockey picked up on that. Yep. That had a ton to do with it, right? All of a sudden, you got 13 million or whatever it was, like, tuning into USA, Canada. Crazy. Insane. Yep. So they're growing. So all of a sudden, that gap starts to shrink a little bit. That's more or less what we've been referencing. But it was awesome to see 4.1 million viewers for an NBA game, because we love sports. We just want sports to do.
Right.
So it was cool to see, man.
That's awesome, man. I mean, you talk about Charles Barkley kind of pooping on the Lakers and ESPN talking about the Lakers and all the big market teams. But, I mean, he kind of misses the point here. It's like, for your sport to be the ultimate success, you do need those big markets to do well. You do.
You have to.
You do.
You have to have it.
Yeah. And so I think that the NBA, I think it now, like with Luka going to Lakers, like a superstar, like AD was good, but he just didn't have that, right? And so and Luka does have that factor. Like he brings in another skill set that AD didn't have, and to have him in one of the biggest markets in the world is really big for the game. So it's it's good for the NBA that he's going to be on the Lakers for the foreseeable future.
100%.
Yeah.
In order for the NBA to be good, you need the Lakers to be good. I will say,
but
on the flip side of that,
you have to talk about the Cavs.
You have to talk
about the Bucks. You have to talk about the OKC Thunder. Because if you want your game to be strong and have a foundational, good fan base, you have to bring in these small market teams. You have to acknowledge that these other teams are doing well because you want your games to grow in those specific areas.
Every team, when the NBA was at its height, every team had a legitimate superstar.
Yes.
To me, that's what made it great. You went to visit Philadelphia, you saw Dr. J. You went to visit Miami Heat, you got to finish Dwayne Wade.
Right.
You got to see Dwayne Wade. When you went to the Nuggets, you got to see Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
Like every team had a bona fide superstar who like loved the game. And to me, if you're the NBA, that's what you need. I mean, look at baseball. Baseball, all of a sudden, Bobby Witt Jr. Everyone knows who Bobby Witt Jr. is. Nobody can tell me what team he plays for. Right.
Royals.
It's like, well, we know the Royals, but nobody can tell us. Nobody else can tell us. Like, I don't know. I don't know who he plays for. Like the other day, Mitch was like Skeens. No, Skeens for the Padres.
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens, is he the Pirates?
Pirates
pitcher.
Yeah.
Paul Skeens.
See?
Yes. Paul Skeens. I was like, well, I was just reading an article on we read way too much about baseball.
Yeah.
Padres pitcher, we're considering trading their pitcher, their guy.
King?
Oh, man.
Cease?
Dylan Cease.
Dylan Cease.
They were considering trading him to the Yankees. They didn't. By the way, we never give you love on this podcast. Shout out to you, Padres fans. Stay strong on this, okay?
Yeah, you're gonna
still
be
got
good.
Tatis, you still got Machado.
You're gonna be good.
And you're going to need Cease if you're going to compete with the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, which again is good for baseball. Don't let this go. We like to poop on you because we're Dodger fans, but don't let this go because your stadium is one of the most incredible environments, according to everyone, come the playoffs. So everybody wants you in the playoffs. That's neither here nor there. Skeens. He literally, my boy Mitchell, was like, oh, the Skeens guy. I was like, first of all, he literally just won ROI. Like he's incredible. He was the rookie of the year last year. He's been incredible. He's been a dog. But like, even he hears the name. He may not know where it's from, but at least he knows the name. I feel like every time I watch the NBA, somebody's telling me about some guy from Oklahoma City. And apparently he's the best guy in the league. They still don't know his name. Every team used to have an all-star. Every team used to have a major guy that, like, when you went to that place, it was like, this is the dude. Tim Duncan with the Spurs.
Yeah.
Steve Nash with the Phoenix Suns. The list goes on.
Yeah.
Like, the list goes on.
Red with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Chris Webber with the Kings.
Oh, my God.
Like, the list goes on. And you had these epic matchups. And then all of a sudden, all these stars said, we're going to the same team. And it was like, no, stop it. Stop this.
Stop it.
You need to go to spread out. Right. Spread out. And if you're not going to spread out, then the NBA needs to do a much better job of encouraging us. Like, there's no reason for us to know that Holiday plays for the Baltimore Orioles. But we do.
Yeah, we do.
Because he was so high rep and he was sucking.
Right.
But you literally see him everywhere. Yep. Like Baltimore's putting his face on every poster. You know what I mean? And so that's what these NBA teams need to do. Rep your stars. Get different stars.
Well, the league needs to rep these stars.
Right.
That's what I'm like. ESPN, Fox Sports.
But you
have to talk about these stars. Talk about the Lakers, the Celtics, 75% of the time. That's fine. That's right. There's no issue with that. But the other 25% of the time, talk about the other teams, the other guys that are propping this league up because there's good players.
And I'll tell you what else hurts. It's not going to be a popular statement. I'm going to tell you what else hurts. Do with this what you will.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to you.
All right.
The slight decline of college basketball. A lot of times, March Madness is one of the most watched things that basketball does across any level.
Right.
And we got to love Carmelo Anthony in March Madness. We got to watch Steph Curry at St. Mary's in March Madness making an upset run. Like, that is what endeared some of these. Oh, my God, I watched that kid. Oh, my goodness. There was no reason. Back in the day, like, Jimmer Fredette. Like, he didn't even amount to anything in the NBA. But, like, you saw everybody just watched this March. And now everybody's just one and done.
Yeah.
And the only guys who were an exception to that, outside of that rule, were the guys who went straight from high school. But but those guys who did that, you knew. Oh, dang, this is the guy. But then they said, no, you got to go to college. You got to go to college for a couple years. Nope, now you only got to go to college for 1 year. So now these guys, instead of going from high school to the NBA, they're going to high school to college to the NBA. When in reality, it's like, dude, if you're going to make them go to college, make them stay a couple years. Give them a couple.
Right.
MJ played more than one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
Like, grow the game in college.
Listen to us.
Man. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
like it is.
I know.
Yeah.
Me and Jason got into it today. He's like, "Oh, no, I would never watch a random MLB game over a random NBA game." And I was like, "Dude, I understand what you're saying."
That was funny though. He's like, "Be honest. Do you guys ever?" I was like, "Yep, I watch random Rocky games." Little games.
And, like I realize we're probably the vast minority
I did
when
say
it comes to that. We are the vast minority.
We are not the norm.
But I'm just as likely. I'm just as likely to watch a random NBA game.
Yeah.
How many people are going to watch a random anything game? Right. The only sport that captures everyone for all the games is the NFL. And let's be honest, that has more to do with fantasy football than anything else.
100%. Yeah.
Fantasy football and gambling. Yeah. I mean, those are the two things.
Two things.
So well done, NFL. You alone have stolen our hearts. It lets me listen to the other sports. Make your fantasy easier.
Right. Well, how?
I don't know. MLB, you have to adjust it like every day.
Yeah,
I tried to join the league.
But they play every day.
It was insane.
Don't you want baseball?
No.
You don't want
baseball? I don't want to adjust my lineup every day.
But you have to if you're going to play fantasy baseball. Like, if you're a real fantasy player, you play fantasy baseball.
By the way, fantasy sports started with baseball.
Yeah, there you go.
Fun fact.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they called it the rotisserie league. I watched the 30 for 30 on it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, was it the rotisserie league?
Fun fact.
I think it was the rotisserie league. I don't know. It was 30 for 30 on it. Like these dudes who were literally like just obsessed with baseball. Which makes sense because it was like all these stats.
It's fun.
Totally makes sense.
It's fun. Nerds, geeks.
Nerds and geeks. I got a Lord of the Rings tattoo.
There it is.
Very exciting.
Biggest nerd.
Biggest nerd ever.
Do or do not, there is no try.
It's not Lord of the Rings, it's Star Wars.
Nerd, geek,
yeah.
nerd.
Nerd. Nerd.
Dad, nerds.
Oh,
nerd dad.
Boy, this has been fun. Big Z, say bye to the people.
You know, the baby's on her way. So hopefully I see you soon. If she's not here before next week, we'll be here again. If she comes next week, may take a week off, but you don't know. We don't know. I may have to do a short little 5-minute live with you, but we'll see. But I love you guys. Subscribe, like, helps us out. We appreciate you guys a lot.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get one in before, like the day before or something.
Yeah.
From the hospital, Big Z's like, we're here waiting.
Live from the hospital.
Here we go. We love you. Thanks for listening again. Go follow us on Instagram, YouTube, X. We keep saying Twitter.
Yeah.
It is X.
No, well, it's Twitter.
Brevity Sports. Go follow us. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Give us a heart. All those things. We love you. We'll see you when we see you. Big Z's having a baby that's much more important. So we don't apologize for that. Yeah, but we will see you. Follow us on social media. We post on social media.
Yeah.
We are now posting daily on social media.
So regardless, we'll be posting.
We will be posting. Yes. Even if I have to get on there and shoot awkward selfies, which is my only skill in life. I will see you guys when I see you guys. Have a great day.